welcome back to my channel where I give you education, inspiration, and motivation. So the last video that I had posted, I believe it was, I cannot remember, but I was thinking today, I was like, I need to get back on here because I do have people like asking me questions in my comments on like some of my work experience jobs. So like if you're here because you want to get an insight on like interviewing for a bank job or something like that, then I have it here. I also have posted in the past stuff about my dental assisting experience, so I guess let me touch on that for a little bit. But first, let me tell you what today's video is going to be about. Today's video is going to be about working for a credit union versus a bank, from my experience. But I did want to touch on the videos that I have about dental assisting. I'm just going to talk about it briefly because I know you guys are here for the topic of the video. So I started off working at a bank, and then during that time I was part-time, and I was going to school to be a dental assistant. So I have worked in both, but whenever I started working in dental assisting, it was around the time that COVID had hit, and then I just went back to the banking world because of the fact that like the dental office that I was working for, we could opt out of work, and I just started working at the bank again, and I just never went back to dental assisting. So but I do like to share my experiences with you guys, but that's just like a brief wrap up if anyone's confused on why I speak on both. So yeah, but today we're going to be talking about working for a credit union versus a bank. So I have a few notes because I am so prepared and so fancy. I have it written down on an envelope. So anyways, the first thing that I want to say is that I have done both. I started off in banking first. So I was a teller when I worked at the bank that I was working for, and I'm gonna speak on my experience a little bit. So it was my first kind of career switch in a way because I had only worked like fast food and like what else, retail jobs. So I was like, you know what, I need to like get into a big girl job or whatever, and because you know retail, they just give you part-time, blah blah blah. So anyways, I applied, got the job. It was actually coincidentally called retail banking, and I feel like that's why, well, because the experience that they're looking for is like cash handling and like retail, because they want you to promote their products. So I guess I'm just trying to say that like for me, I love the job because it was like something new. I feel like I always had like labor, like very tiring jobs that was like hard on the body and stuff like that, and this was just more like educating people, you know, dealing with money and stuff like that, like more computer work. So I was just like, hey, this is cool. And yeah, but when I was in that job, I did have to sell products, and like I had to do it to bonus, and on top of that, like they expected of you, so like you could get written up if you didn't do it. But I felt I did a great job in it, and I stuck with it. Now fast forward, now that I work for a credit union, I feel like I can see the differences between the two. So I would say working for a credit union, I have noticed that they invest into their employees more. So like I said, I had nothing to complain about at the bank, but I can see the difference between how they trained me versus how I got trained at the credit union. So I just feel like they take more time to invest into their employees, put them through that training, don't expect them to do certain things, certain parts of their job until they're fully trained. So for instance, like whenever you go in for teller training, it's a set week and a half training. Like you take your test or whatever, and then like when you get into the branch, then you're scheduled for all your other trainings within a certain period of time, depending on like what your position is and stuff. And, you know, they kind of take that time to slowly build you to make sure that you have everything you need to educate, do your work, and all of that stuff. So I really do like that. Second thing that I noticed is they're very open to their employees about their business plans. So like, I feel like at the bank, the employees would only get updated if it was like stuff that affected the branch itself. So like procedure changes or like regulation changes and stuff like that, like federal regulations. And of course we get those change updates in the branch too, but I feel like the credit union, they're more open with talking about where the credit union is trying to go as far as business, and if they're branching off into a different state. They're just very open and they take their time. We have town hall meetings where like people can voice their opinions. They send out surveys every so often where you can put like things that you like, considerations and stuff like that. And they listen, and then they send a lot of emails with updates and stuff. So I just feel like they listen, you feel heard, and like involved, instead of just being, you know, coming in and like clocking in, clocking out type thing. And that was something that I had to get used to, because I'm not necessarily going to say that that's something that I ever looked for in an employer or even expected. So, yeah. And then, my next one is that pay is better. That's my experience. Pay is way better. And I would say that it's because when you work for a bank, they're expecting you to sell products. And, you know, when you get those cross sales or like referrals, or if you're a banker, if you get sales, you have to hit certain numbers, and then you get paid out for it. But they don't compensate you for in your hourly wage, if that makes sense. So I feel like credit unions, since I'm not going to say they don't expect it, it's definitely something that you have to do, because you're looking at somebody's account when you're doing the transactions and stuff, and when you're interacting with them. But you don't lose your job because you're not hitting a certain number or something like that, and you don't get like incentive for it. They just pay you good hourly. And it's not so competitive with pushing something to somebody that they don't, like a product to someone that they don't need. You know what I mean? Like if somebody doesn't want to put their money into a share certificate or a CD, like I'm not going to suggest that to them. So I would try to, I would be promoting products to people to hit my numbers. And you just have to be very good at it, because you have to differentiate sales malpractice versus something that somebody actually needs. So in my opinion, credit unions pay better because they treat their the people coming in doing business with them differently. And that rolls me into my next topic. So banks have customers and credit unions have members. So whenever somebody wants to come in to open an account with the credit union, they're going to pay a membership fee. Well, it's not really a fee. It's just like one-time thing that like we hold the money until they decide that they want to close their account or whatever. But it's just, which I if I'm remembering right, it's been years, but banks will charge you, or not charge you, but you have to put money into your account to start off with. But I want to say it might be like $250 or something like that. I could be wrong, because like I said, it's been years. But like at a credit union, you normally have to put in like $5. They hold it. You can see the money in there. It's just you can't spend it. And that money allows you to, let's just say there's like a yearly meeting where I'm losing my train of thought, sorry. Pretty much like a hosted meeting where like the members come, they can talk to the credit union and suggest things, and just kind of have a say in the credit union itself, which is amazing. Like, that's great. But that's the difference between a bank and a credit union. So if you have an account at a bank, you're a customer. If you have an account at a credit union, you're a member. You're heard, you're seen, you have a say, and you're just treated more welcoming than just like, we're just trying to make money off of you. Fees are less, and all of that. So I guess I kind of wanted to touch bases on like the person coming in to do business experience too, because obviously that's going to change the way you are also doing your job, because it was just kind of an in and out thing at banks whenever I was helping someone. But at the credit union, I feel like it's more like you're really trying to build those relationships, you know? So moving on to the next topic. And the last difference that I wanted to touch bases on is the feeling of fulfillment in the work that I do. So usually credit unions are like in the community, like doing work, giving back, having a helping hand. And there's always things that you can sign up for to help out with those things. And sometimes it's during business hours. If it's after hours, they always try to make it fun. You know, we're adults, so sometimes there'll be like adult beverages and stuff like that. And that's not really the main reason why, but I'm just trying to touch bases on like, an experience to kind of give an idea of how those events are. But it's like, who doesn't want to be out of work to go give a helping hand to someone, get paid for it, be able to network and just have fun. It also is a growth opportunity because it helps you get out there. I wasn't always someone who liked public speaking or like meeting new people and stuff like that, but it has helped me grow to feel more comfortable with those things. And then I leave and I'm like, wow, that was very like cool. That was very like great. It makes me feel good. And the person who is receiving the help is, you know, we're helping them. So, and there's just other reasons, like I just can tell the major difference between working at a bank versus working at a credit union. And I'm not here to convince you or anything. I learned a lot working at a bank, but there is major differences. Like even me having accounts at a bank and having accounts at a credit union, I could tell the difference between even the business that I'm going in to do, or like the way someone interacts with me at either of the places. So my last note is, because I'm pretty sure that if you clicked on this video, you're here to kind of see where you would want to be, if you would want to work at a bank, if you would want to work at a credit union. I would say the best thing to do is to do your research on what that bank or credit union stands for. If you're going for an interview, ask your questions, make sure that you're receiving the pay that you feel you deserve. But it is a great starting job if you want to start off as a teller at a bank. But I like the credit union life. I think it's awesome. And yeah, guys, that's all I have. Like, that's literally it. It's a few of the differences. I could have dove deeper into it, but like the most impactful things, like for someone wanting to know right off the rip about the differences between the two, I feel like I highlighted them so you guys could compare, think, do your further research and all of that. But thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you guys haven't already, subscribe. I am here to educate you guys, inspire you guys, and motivate you guys, and try to give you something that I feel like I try to search for if I'm job searching, or if I'm trying to do a change, a little swappy-roo between the two. But I do have people leave comments for me. I'm thinking about posting a video where I answer like over the camera questions that I have received in my comments, but I do respond in my comments also. So if there's something that you guys want me to touch bases on specifically, let me know. I'm here for you guys, and I like making these videos, so just let me know. And I wish you guys luck in everything you do, and thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.